Well, I need to win it. I need to win it. But I'll be candid with you. There's degrees. I want to be fair to everybody concerned. We need to be in the playoffs. We need to be viable in the playoffs to be a successful season.
A little more humble Jerry Jones. Nick, what do you make of what he had to say?
This is sad. How the mighty have fallen, or I guess how the mighty have recognized they haven't been mighty in quite some time. Listen, the Dallas Cowboys used to have a bar of success, which was the Super Bowl. That has been lowered substantially. How about this as a bar for the Dallas Cowboys? Because viable in the playoffs, since they last played in the Super Bowl, there have been 26 seasons. And don't show the graphic yet, please. They've made the playoffs 11 times, so almost half the years. They have made the divisional round of the playoffs 6 times, and they have been no further. The Cowboys every year need to say, can we break what is one of the most embarrassing streaks in sports right now, which is a 26-year drought of not playing in a conference championship game. And you might say, Nick, why is that the bar? Now we can show the graphic. Well, look at the NFC. And I did a medal system for this. Winning the Super Bowl is a gold medal. Losing the Super Bowl is a silver medal. Losing the conference championship game is a bronze medal. There are 3 teams in the NFC who have no medals. The Washington football team, Detroit, and the America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Wow. Since the Cowboys last played in the Super Bowl Wilds, every other team in the conference, other than the Commanders and the Lions, have played in multiple NFC championship games. The Packers have played in 8. Philly's played in 6. San Francisco's played in 6. Carolina and the Vikings, who aren't exactly known as establishment franchises, have played in 4 each. The Cowboys have played in 0. They haven't been a game away from being a game away since they won a Super Bowl. So that, for Jerry Jones to be like, make the playoffs, which they'll do because the NFC stinks, be viable in the playoffs. What does that mean? Win your wild card round because you have it at home? Maybe you will. It is such a low bar and such an easily attainable bar, as opposed to, how about we get to a spot we haven't been in more than a quarter century, where if we win today's game, we play for a championship. They haven't been in that position, along with Detroit and Washington, and that's it. That's embarrassing.
No. But I like Jerry Jones's tact here. He's not saying Super Bowl or bust, which I think would start a media frenzy. I think the goal, Broussard, for Mike McCarthy is to obviously go as far as you can, or have a Josh Allen type loss, where it's like, man, we played great, but we lost. Because here's the other interesting Jerry Jones quote, and I'll read it to you. I want to be real clear. He, Mike McCarthy, wouldn't be sitting here today if I didn't believe he was the man to lead this team to a Super Bowl. And I have choices. Like, oh, ho, 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 ho. So I like that. That's basically like, I'm not going to, it's not a hot seat. I'm not even sure it's a warm seat. It's more of like one of those bleacher cushions that you would take to the high school game. Like, oh, this will just not make it cold. Just warm me up just a little bit. So I think they have to have maybe not the deepest of runs, but you have to be impressive, or Sean Payton's going to come knocking on that door and putting a star on his helmet, as he likes to say, even though I know he won't wear a helmet on the sidelines.
He might.
I actually agree with you, Wilds. Like, Nick, I love the graphic that you had. It is telling, because there's a whole generation of youngsters growing up today, and they're not even that young anymore. And they're saying, what's the big deal about the Cowboys? Like, why in the world are the Cowboys America's team? Like, I remember when, not just Dion and Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin and those guys. I remember Roger Staubach and Tony Dorsett when they really were an awesome franchise. They were worthy of the attention that they get. They're no longer worried, so I love your graphic. But Wilds is right. Jerry Jones handled this well. He did light a little fire I got options. And he was asked, and I give the reporters their credit. They asked him, well, if he's your coach that you know can lead you to a Super Bowl, which Jerry said, then have you given him a contract extension? You know, and Jerry had to dance around that. So I thought that he handled it well. He didn't put extra pressure on him like we got to win the Super Bowl. And they know they need to win it. I'm sure the players in that locker room and McCarthy believe they can win it. But he did put enough pressure to say we got to be viable, and they should be. The NFC we know is falling off. You got 3 teams that we know will be really good, the Rams, the Buccaneers, and the Packers. After that, why can't Dallas be that 4th team? Why can't Dallas with the Micah Parsons and Diggs and all that they've got the Dak, and I know Ezekiel's not what he used to be, but Tony Pollard is still there, and that's a nice tandem. CeeDee Lamb, why can't they be in the hunt? I don't think they're the best team in the NFC. But, Nick, they should be in the hunt, and that's all that Jimmy Jones said. I thought he said the right thing.
Listen, Jerry Jones, and a lot of 49ers erasure there, maybe because Jimmy G's not there anymore. If they're just throwing them out in the trash, I mean, why aren't the 49ers going to be really good?
Exactly.
The championship game last year just upgraded the quarterback. But there's just, to me, it is unbelievable that the great Joe Buck and Troy Aikman obviously have moved on from this network. But think about this for a moment. They went their entire broadcasting partnership without ever calling a Cowboys NFC championship game. How long were those guys together on our network? And you don't think Troy was desperate? Desperate's the wrong word, but dying to do that? Never got the opportunity. And for now, Jerry Jones to be like, yeah, we've accepted that. We've accepted that we're good. We're okay. It's baffling to me. Because to your point, Brew, if you truly believe in Dak the way Jerry has claimed to believe in Dak years prior, then why can't you say, yeah, the NFC is weaker, we should win it. Brady's 45. Aaron Rodgers, I know they wouldn't say these things, but think it. Nobody's afraid of him in the playoffs. It's hard to repeat if you're the Rams. We have built this team. This is what, it should be our conference. But they know it's not. And part of that is because they know their coach. They know that these playoff games are going to come down to situational football, and all of a sudden they're going to be running quarterback draws with no timeouts left in the playoff game and go home, because that's how their season ended last year. And as far as Mike McCarthy's seat wilds, their first 2 games of the year are home for Tampa, home for Cincinnati. Now, they could win both those games, but they also easily could lose both those games. They start 0-2, and then all of a sudden they have a Week 3 game. I believe it's against the Giants. That seat can get very, very hot very, very quickly, because nobody was happy with how last year ended for Dallas. If this year starts rough, I don't know if Mike McCarthy's seat stays cool, as you're saying, very long. And I think Jerry knows.
Well, Dak certainly didn't get the praise from Jerry that